Hello, hello. What's up, guys? How she landed a paid keynote speaking engagement in 6 weeks' time. This is what we're going to get into today. I am beyond hyped for today's live stream because I am bringing yet another freaking women powerhouse to you guys, Gabriela Ramírez Arellano. She's making me roll my R's all sexy like, who landed her first keynote paid speaking engagement in just 6 weeks' time of us working together. Go ahead. That's what I'm talking about. So, why does this matter? So, here's the thing there is this BS of truth that people want to believe where they feel that they can't get paid until they pay their dues. They can't get paid to speak on stages until they get better. They can't be paid speakers because they don't have enough experience or their story isn't powerful or numerous of other BS excuses that we tell ourselves on the daily. So what happens? They wait and they wait and they wait until they finally allow someone to tell them that it's okay for them to speak on stage. Till they finally allow someone to say, yes, we can pay you, right? And so this is what I want to get into because I know a lot of speakers out there. I know amazing speakers out there, trainers, consultants, authors, content creators. We're all speakers in my eyes if you're on, especially if you're on social media, right? Because that's all we do on social media is speak our minds, right? So we wait. Well, that's not how I roll, and that's not how any of my crew rolls. We don't wait for the opportunities to come to us. We go get them, right? But what does that take? Yeah. So Gabriela is living proof that when you do, number one, the mindset work, pretty much get the hell out of your own way, right? Get crystal clear on what it is that you really want. Then get crystal clear on how to communicate that and apply the right strategy week in and week out. You don't wait. You get paid, period. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. So today, you're going to hear the raw, the real, no BS, behind the scenes work of what it took Gabriela to land this keynote. Okay. So before we get into that, hello, hello. If you are new to me, my name is Vanessa Cabrera. I am a master certified NLP business coach, an award-winning social media marketing strategist, keynote speaker, and single mama. I help ambitious women entrepreneurs really understand how to leverage all these amazing social media platforms that are legit in our hands in order to make a lot of money doing exactly what it is that we love to do in a short amount of time. My clients have made multiple 5-figure months in 90 days or less, and some have even hit their first 6-figure payday. They are coaches, they are trainers, they are speakers, they are authors, and they are absolute experts in their field who want to make big money on their brilliance as they damn well should be. Yes. So without further ado, I'm going to have Gabriela take it away. So go ahead, Gabriela, and why don't you kick us off and introduce yourself?
Oh my God. Thank you, Vanessa, so much for having me. Before I even start the introduction, and I think I've shared it with you before, but just also as a reminder of how long I have been stalking you because of your energy. I think I saw you on one of Stephanie's lives, and I'm like, who's this lady commenting? So I love the energy that you bring to the table. I love the intentionality that comes behind you. And so just to say that I've been stalking you because I have been wanting to figure out how to make an impact, right? And I saw you doing it. I just kept asking myself, like, how does she just do it? How does she talk? How does she do all the things? But I'm here in St. Louis. I'm a bilingual keynote speaker, and advocate for many, many things that I'm passionate about: entrepreneurship, language access. So I've just been reinventing myself for a long time. And when I realized that I had something to say, I couldn't figure out how to make it a business and not just, like you said, me paying my dues over and over again. And
Hmm.
so, really, talking about, it's not just getting paid. I mean, obviously that's a plus, but the impact, right?
Yeah.
The intentionality around why I'm speaking at this event or on this stage and speaking to these people was really important to me. And honestly, working with you has really allowed me to just get out of my own freaking way, because I realized that that is what was happening, right? I would tell myself no before anyone else got to tell me no, just because it's easier to hear it from me. And so
Okay.
working has been really cool around the mindset. But yeah, I mean, it's been so exciting to realize that I have something to say and I could get paid for it, right? So now I can pursue those things I want to advocate for more freely because of that. And I'm also making an impact in different communities. And that for me has been mindset shift, mind blown, game changer, all of the things. And I'm just really excited to have these new tools with me now so that I can continue to use them for whatever it is that I want to do, whether it's speaking, whether it's writing books, whether it's coaching, really anything that I can think of doing. I have the tools now. In fact, I was walking this morning, I'm like, oh my God, I need to implement Vanessa's techniques to get more authors for an anthology that I'm working on. Why am I thinking it only works for keynotes?
Ah, nice. Well done. Well done. Yeah, Gabriella and I met at the Midwest Digital Marketing Conference. So shout out to Perry and his whole team. And um, I don't know, I think that's where we initially met, but we didn't meet in person. And so eventually, I don't even know how we started talking, but like we connected on social media, I think. And then I started stalking you because you started stalking me. This is how it works. People were telling you raw real. So I'm like, who's this chick? Right. And so little did I know that Gabriella was like Miss St. Louis. This chick knows everyone in St. Louis and like just knows all the things, all the people. So when I started coming back and blessed that MDMC asked me back to speak, then we started connecting and she's like, why don't you do this event and speak here? And I'm like, I would love to, and all the things. So the your network and your community that you surround yourself with. And then I started seeing her at all these events and speaking. So I naturally was like, oh, she is a badass, number one. But when she came to me, I was confused, as I usually am when people come to me, because if I'm stalking them on social media, it looks like, everything's fine and, the highlight reel and I'm doing this and that, but really no one knows what's really going on behind the scenes, especially when we're talking business and especially when we're talking bank accounts, right? So we were talking and she was really honest. And so why don't you take us back, Gabriella, and where you were in your business before we started working together? Like, what were you struggling with? What were your thoughts? Like, take us back to that place.
I mean, I feel like I was all over the place when several times that we've talked to each other about I want to do more, I want to have an impact, but I don't really know what because I'm doing so many things, right?
All right.
And so just having that one brainstorming session with you around, you can keep doing all your things, but what do you want to make? What's your like 9 week or 9 month, or even in this year, what do you want to accomplish? And I realized it was my speaking. I wanted to do more keynotes. And so after you and I had that conversation, I think it still took me a minute just to really fine tune, like, do I want to do this? And then there's also that fear of success, right? Like, oh my God, what if I start working with her and then I get all these gigs and then I have to actually go talk? So there's a lot happening and going on behind the scenes, because sometimes I mean, I know I do it. So I know that others as well, we sabotage ourselves We want to make sure we want to have these big dreams and we want to do all these things, but there's a little bit of a fear factor in there that what if it does come true? Then now I have to actually do it and get on the stage and all the self doubt that we have. So um, I was at that point where I was starting to get more speaking engagements, but I'm doing them for free and thinking I have to just keep practicing and eventually something will happen. And really, what I realized with Vanessa's guidance was that my lived experiences are a brand, a speaking brand. I'm not just sharing my story, I'm helping others, I'm building a legacy. And the coaching with Vanessa really helped me because she literally holds up this mirror to me and reminds me not only of what I can do, but what I need to stop doing. And so it was really important that that mind work, right, that we have done throughout the process. And I don't want to like give away the secrets of what we do in the work, but the reflecting back to me like some of my own insecurities, and the fact that she could perceive them without me saying like I'm worried about this thing. She would call it out, or she would say, well, what are you really worried about, right? Because like I said, we have that fear of success as well that comes along with the fear of failure. And I knew I had a message. What I didn't know was how to pitch it. And working with you has helped me really package my truth, and land more speaking gigs, because now I'm going after them. I'm not just sitting around waiting for someone to think about me or to ask me to speak. Which, yeah, that's great when that happens, but I want things to happen for me and not to me.
I love it. Package your truth. Woo! I'm going to use that one. All right. Thank you for your honesty and vulnerability. I do remember having that conversation with you when you got really clear, you got all excited, and then the next time you're like, "Oh shit, what if this happens?" Then I actually like have to do the work and get on stage and all the things. And this is a really natural occurrence that happens, the fear of success. So we often talk about fear of failure, if what if it doesn't work, all of the things. But that fear of success is really true. And you're like, oh crap, now I actually have to like show up and do the damn thing, right? What was so interesting to me, Gabriela, when you said those words, I was like, you've, in my eyes, I'm like, you've already been doing this for years. In my eyes, like you've been a speaker, it seemed like long before me. So, but there was some sort of shift in realization where you're like, no, this is different because you're actually going after what it is that you really want with everything you got. And there's a difference. A shift has to happen when you do that rather than just waiting. So I love the fact that you realize that, and are honest about that, because a lot of people struggle with that for sure. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I had been working on my speaking skills, right? So the skill set
Mhm.
wasn't the part,
Yeah.
but that's where I kept feeling stuck, where I knew in my mind, like, there's more. I know there is. I just don't know how to access it.
Yeah. There's always more. Yes. Okay. So, in terms of actually doing the work, as you said, like, not giving away any of the secrets, there's really no secrets. So, you can talk freely. And this is what I want you to talk to our audience about of like, what did she actually do? Because that's what I always think when I'm watching these case studies. Okay, what did she do? What worked, right? So, what shifted for you once we started working together, especially internally? Like, was there like a big aha moment, or what was the shift?
The shift was literally getting out of my own freaking way, right? Like, you were giving me the tools every week that we were meeting, and I was doing them, sometimes half-ass doing them. And then I realized, like, why are you wasting your time and Vanessa's time? Either you're going to do it or you don't. And then I thought, it's not going to work anyway. So let me just try it. And then it worked. Remember, I sent you a message. I'm like, oh my God, they responded. Oh crap, now what?
Yes. Yep, you went from celebrating real hard real quick to oh crap, right? Yes. Okay.
So I think it was the accountability for sure, right? Working with you every week and meeting and talking about, okay, what went well, what didn't, how many outreaches did you do, how many meetings did you set up? So your intentionality to actually ask me the, count the things that were going to be important to this, and then also helping us when we got stuck, because we would come to the session and we would talk to you about, like, well, I don't know what to say to this person, or I don't know how to ask, or even just getting ahead of ourselves. I know at one point I'm like, yeah, but how do I know what to tell them I charge? And I think you're like, let's get the gig first.
Let's let's have the conversation first, and then we could talk pricing. Yeah.
Right. And I think to me that was also a fear of something, right? Like, I don't want to, I start worrying about things that haven't even happened yet, just because I'm trying to figure out how I'm doing it wrong or talk myself out of it, right? And so, I mean, for me, the key was really the weekly sessions, the accountability, and you having us measure the things that you knew would make a difference. Because I remember you kept telling me, trust the process, woman. um and me struggling with that, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what is this, what is posting gonna do, what is da 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 going to do? So yeah, I mean, I think that it's a obviously it's a multi-layered effect. It doesn't happen with one session, and it doesn't happen with one thing. It's a lot of the things happening at the same time, but being able to come to you when I got stuck, being able to access you even though I don't like the messenger option, um, and honestly just understanding, like you were talking at one of our last sessions about meeting people where they are, right? If they want to meet with you tomorrow, unless something really crazy is going on, why not? My fear of, like, oh my god, what am I going to say, I have to practice. Like, let's just have the meeting, have the conversation, be authentic. So I mean, just so many things that transpired during the last couple of weeks that it's hard to pick just one thing.
Yeah.
But again, it's you holding up that mirror to say, like, you're a powerhouse, you already are doing it. These are somatics.
Yeah. I love the fact that when you were worrying, okay, and again, we're all humans and we all worry. What I do with my clients, again, this is the real and the raw, the no bullshit. This is what we work on is, yes, we get into the strategies. Yes, Gabriela knows all of my strategies, everything I taught her that I've been doing damn near for the past 7 years. She knows, but it's this stuff. It's the worry, it's the fear, it's getting in your own way. And worrying, as I always say, it's natural, especially as entrepreneurs. Like, Jess, we wear so many different hats, and you also have a gig, and you have your family, and, life in general, right? What I do with my clients is I rewire your brains. Okay, so I rewire your brains week in, week out with either habit breaking or habit forming. And worry is a big thing for everyone. And I often say this to this, and especially to my goddaughter, if she's watching, is that she's a big worrier. And that label has been put on her, and I don't like it. So I'm trying to break it. But when I think about worrying, and I worry every once in a while, but I nip it in the bud as fast as I freaking possibly can because it does me nothing. Right. So all worry is focusing on what you don't want to happen. So when Gabriela came to me and she's like, what about this? And what about that? And blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, you don't even know yet. You're literally making this shit up in your head, but it's very normal and very natural. Once, like, she actually started saying the words, I didn't even have to say anything. She's like, never mind. You remember that session? Like, I didn't even have to call you out. You're like, never mind. Let me just have this call tomorrow and see where it goes. I'm like, let's do that. So I love your honesty because a lot of people deal with this, right? So, what did showing up differently start to look like in your life and online?
So first I'll say showing up different for me, which was a big mindset shift, because you have told me over and over again, like, it's great that you're so community focused and you're so community centered, But what about you? You're so busy and it comes so easily to you to promote other people. How do you want people to know what you can do when you never talk about it? You maybe did not use such nice words with me. I'll tell you that.
Gabriella,
However,
you're painting me out like evil, but okay, it's with love,
no,
people.
not evil. I mean, honestly, part of what I love is that you meet people where they are, and you know that I love to cuss, so I needed to be cussed at sometimes,
Yeah,
or cussed to, or use strong words like "what the hell," what are you thinking? um, which I think is really important because I also, there were other people in the group and you didn't have the same kind of conversation with them that you would with me, but I have a different personality, right? And I have different needs. And so I just thought it was really cool that as we were going through the process, I started to see myself get out of my own way because you were very consistent in what you need to do. And so even just going back through my feedback, I mean, you even called me out. You're like, okay, let's go through your Facebook, let's go through your LinkedIn, let me see that you really do what I tell you to do. And on some of them I had totally done it, but then some of the early ones it was more half-assed,
hmm,
in the sense that I was saying I wanted to speak but I wasn't asking for it. And you were very good about saying, okay, you're doing good, but you're still not doing the ask, you're still celebrating other things. So I think that was one of the hardest parts for me in working through this process, was to really be intentional about what do I want and asking for that thing
yeah,
consistently and constantly for the whole time we've been working together. So not posting about anything else has been so hard.
yeah,
um, but it's also been liberating as far as the worrying piece, right? Like you said, worrying. I mean, I couldn't do anything about some of the stuff, and with everything happening in the world, there were things I wanted to post about, but I couldn't post about. And it really like cleared my mind to really focus on, oh, let me do these outreach, let me send this message to this person, or let me follow up with someone else. And so that the posting consistently and cleaning up even how I was being perceived, right? So what was I putting out there, making sure it aligned with what my goal in this season is, to get more speaking engagements, and being very clear and intentional about, hey, I have done this and I'm ready to go to this level, but calling it out and not just putting it out there for people to see or to guess what I was doing. Being very clear about the ask was, it's hard to ask for what you want because you might get it.
and you got it, and it keeps coming. Yeah, I knew that posting about yourself was going to be difficult for you because here's the thing about Gabriella, guys, she has such a huge, huge heart, and she is so community based driven. The community that she's created, the network that she's created in St. Louis and beyond is beyond impressive. And everyone that meets Gabriella can feel that. Like she is literally a community based advocate. She fights for all this, which is one of the reasons I was attracted to her. I'm like, this chick is no BS. She really believes in this stuff and you can feel it and all of the things, which is great. However, when it comes to you and making an impact, what I was trying to get through to Gabriella is that everything that she wanted was so very clear to her, and everything that she wanted was eventually going to lead her to help more people in the process in a different way, but exactly what she wanted to do when she grew up, right? So a lot of your posts, Gabriella, we talked about this, was sharing other events and other people's successes and other people's businesses. And when you do that, I called it out that like you're hiding in plain sight. Just like when I'm posting, I'm like, no, you're not. You are hiding in plain sight. It's very easy to promote other people. The mindset work comes in when you have to promote yourself, right? You're like, oh shit, that's the mind F that every entrepreneur, every person I've worked with has had to deal with, myself included, right? We don't want to brag. And I think one time you said that you're like, I don't want to be braggy. And I'm like, you got to brag because you're incredible at what you do. No one's ever going to know this, right? Until other people start bragging on your behalf, and they're already doing that. So that has been the real work with you, Gabriella. One turning point that I was hoping to get with you, and you did. You did the work. All right. So tell us then. Everyone wants to know. All right. So how did you land this paid keynote in 6 weeks' time? What happened?
Well, I mean, actually, I got to blame you for that one too, beyond the fact that we were working together because I was about to go on vacation. Remember? And I told you, oh, I'll call them when I come back. And you're like, yeah, but you're going to be gone for 2 weeks. Just talk to them before you go out of town. And so I ended up doing that. And like on the spot, she was like, hey, we would love for you to kick off the conference. And I'm like, oh my God, like literally panicking and excited at the same time, just because I love talking to people. I love being motivating and inspirational. But again, to like hear the yes, it's so scary.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Okay. So, but tell us how this all happened. Like you got to the good part, the end. You got the yes. How I know my audience is like, okay, but how? What exactly did you do? I know my audience, they're picky. They want the step by step by step by step by step. So, ¿qué pasó?
I mean, ¿qué pasó? So much pasó. Working with you and really just changing my mind shift when I finally started to act on the things that you were telling us, right? Being more intentional about what I posted, how I said the things, and actually saying, I want to speak. If you're setting up a conference, give me a call. If
Mhm.
you're doing leadership development, I'd love to be a part of your event. So, really being honest with myself about what I was asking and putting it out there was a big part of that. And then also even like direct messaging other people saying, hey, if you know of a speaking engagement, if you know about this thing that someone is planning, please keep me in mind. And so obviously this gig that we're talking about at the leadership conference, it's a done deal. I'm going to be doing it in July, but I've gotten other requests from people saying, hey, let's get together. I want to talk to you. In fact, I have something tomorrow. I want to talk to you about something I'm working on, and really being intentional about making the time to do the work, right? Like it's not enough to just post and say, hey, I'm open to speaking. I want to be a part of your conference, but really doing the follow up and continuing to just trust the process. That was the hardest part, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Um, to come back every day and try to think about ways to talk about what I want, what I'm doing, right? Because you also have to show people that you can do these things. So looking back and finding either videos of me speaking or pictures of me speaking or different awards.
Oop, did we miss her? Hold on. Stand by. She may have to come back in. Technical issues. You gotta love. All right. So while we're waiting for her to come back, there's a couple things that I wanted to point out. And one, here she is. Let's see. Let's get her back. Come on. Hold on. I'm coming. Hello?
I lost you when I was getting to the good part.
Oh, you get that always happens. All right. What's the good stuff? What's the good part?
Well, I mean, just the consistency, really, the following up and believing in myself. Part of working with you was really that you holding that mirror and reminding me that I can do it. I'm already doing it. Why not go for it and ask? And so even the cohort style, right? Like I was in a group with you, so having the shared experiences and the knowledge from other folks that were also in the room to cheer me on and also to provide feedback and support me in that process was a big part of the journey. Because I mean, working with you, like I said in the beginning, I'm already thinking about ways that I could use these tools for other projects and programs that I'm working on. I'm working on another anthology, and so how do I leverage those key tools and pieces that you gave me so that I can have a successful anthology? I mean, it's just been a great experience working with you, especially because I had stalked you for so long, and to see and now to know how you do these things, I can also replicate them now, right? You gave me the tools and the know-how to do it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she makes it look so easy. And sometimes it is, but it's also great to have a partner and an accountability that you can go to say, hey, you're slacking. Or, oh my God, great job. I'm so excited. I mean, all of that. We need it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I make it look so easy because it is easy now. I think I've talked about this. Now, remember, y'all, I've been doing this for 13 years. So let's just, put that out there. Okay. I've done a lot of the work, but what I've tried to teach you guys in my live streams and master classes and stages and all of this is that inevitably what leads you to getting what it is that you want out of your business, life, whatnot, all of the things is the decision. It's got to be a decision. So Gabriella at one point or another made the decision to get help. She was like, Vanessa, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm in my way. I've been wanting to work with you. Can you help me? She made that decision, right? I make it look so easy because I decided probably about 2 years ago that I'm like, I don't want this to be hard anymore. Because up until 2 years ago, I was still like struggling with this. And finally, I made the decision, and my coach tried to bang it into my head. It gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. And it is now. But it's still the day to day mindset work that you and I are talking about, right? It's the mirror, it's the slacking off, it's the worry, it's all of that. Because thank God that's what us humans think, right? But once you're on the other side of the work and you hear that yes, what did you feel when you heard that yes?
All I kept hearing was your voice.
Saying what? Was I cussing you
I
out
knew
or
you
giving
could
you a
do
hug?
it. Just get it out of your way.
Okay. I'm like,
That's
was
what
I
I kept
cussing you
hearing.
out?
I
What
mean,
exactly?
that's what I kept hearing, but I mean, it's all of it, like you said, right? A lot of times it's always, well, it's easier when you have like a partner in crime or a partner in the struggle. And so being able to count on you and being able to count on the other group members, it made you feel like you weren't by yourself. So you knew that if I got stuck, I could just reach out and say I'm stuck,
Yeah.
or I have no idea what to do during one of our check-ins, that we would either talk about it or you would ask. And so there was always like a light at the end of the tunnel, even when I thought like, oh my God, is this going to even work? Like, why am I doing this? Like you said, it's the decision. Not only did I decide to work with you, but even in the journey, at one point, I was not sure that it would work. And then it's like, okay, you're already in it. Go full out or just keep your butt at home, you know?
I love it. How has this shifted your confidence and your business moving forward?
I think that this is, I mean, working with you did not only help me personally, but I work with other entrepreneurs. So now I'm like, ooh, I got tools to
Wow.
share with them. So, I mean, it'll be a ripple effect for the people that I get to work with.
Yeah.
So, in that aspect, I think there'll be a lot of monumental positive change for them. But then also just slowing my mind or quieting myself long enough to realize I'm also doing too many things that are distracting from this one thing that I really want. And what am I going to do about it, right? I sent you a message while I was on vacation, like, oh my God, I've made a decision.
Yeah. I was so excited. I got that message. I was like, yes. Well done. Yeah. And it only took a vacation. All
Well, I
right.
mean, again, it makes it easy, right? It looks like it's easy that it only one thing happened, but really a million little pieces happened for me to come to that realization, especially because I went on vacation with the feel good feeling of I got this.
Hmm.
So imagine if I had more time or I made more time, then how many more I got this can I talk about
Yeah.
that is time that is currently being taken away by other things that I'm doing.
Right. Yeah. I get it. Okay. What do you want women watching to know about getting paid to speak or getting paid to coach or getting bigger paychecks? What do you want to say to them?
I mean, I think that for me, it's partly about the financial because I could do stuff with that for my nonprofit or for other things, but really it's about the impact. So if you're a woman that feels like there's more, I know there's more out there for me. Working with a coach like Vanessa is instrumental to you getting over that hump and finding out what the more could really be, whether it's more money, more time. I mean, if you want to be an author, the reality for me was getting out of my way.
Yeah.
And getting out of my way, now I could reach whatever my goal is, right? But asking for help and making that first decision was really a big part of it. And so, women out there, if you're thinking about, do I want to coach? Do I want to work with Vanessa? Hell yes is the answer. Because obviously, if you could figure it out by yourself, you would have already done that,
We all
right?
have, myself included. Yeah.
So, right. So, why, they say that you go faster when you work with other people. And there's a bunch of quotes about working together, and you move 3 steps forward, 1 step back, and I never remember them, but I do know that working with someone else that believes in you is really important. And sometimes we need that. We need that person that actually believes in us more than we do, because we get blindsided by either squirrels and distractions, or those fears of not just self-doubt, but success is also something that gets in our way. And so, if you can make the decision to work with someone, I would say go for it, because working with the coach is really what's going to get you over that hump. And you're going to be able to use those tools and skill sets, not just for the one thing you're working on, but for any new project or any new thing that you're trying to accomplish and achieve. I mean, it's been transformational because it's spilled over into my volunteer work, my personal life, and obviously the speaking piece that I know if more people would share our stories, we could help more people progress and move on from life's insecurities, because we've all faced something, right? But oftentimes we think we're the only one. I'm by myself, no one else will understand.
Yeah.
And then you start to share, and they're like, oh my god, I wish someone else had said that to me. So what if more people shared their stories? I'm talking about speaking, but what if more people wrote more books, or got more speaking engagements, or did more support of small businesses? Imagine the ripple effect that happens from that.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. My last question to you, Gabriela. Are you ready? Well, maybe not my last.
I'm
We'll see. All right. So, what's next for you now that this door has opened?
Well, I already said this morning I was walking and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could use the tools to get more authors. And I even already, like, in my head drafted my social media post and how I want to phrase it. I'm working on another anthology. My friend and I did one for Latinas last year, and this year we're doing for all women, really talking about celebrating and supporting each other, right? I think it's important for us to have a place to talk about our stories and affirm supporting each other. So I'm working on that next. But obviously, speaking engagements, it's not a one and done. I would love to speak more on, some of my lived experiences around grief, around divorce, um, around, being in a toxic relationship. But also, like I said, like, I want to do those things, but I'm also afraid when someone will say yes, because, what am I willing to share? How vulnerable will I be?
Yeah.
So I feel like that'll be some growing up I have to do, and in defining my story for every one of those things, and turning my message into inspiration and encouragement for others.
So, what if you want to talk about it? I know your story. Um, what are you speaking on, and is it sharing your story? Like, what if those who are watching this and now you're a professional paid keynote speaker, what is it that you speak upon? Do you tell your story so someone out there who's watching this will be like, yes, I want her to speak? What is it that you speak on?
Yeah, I mean, and that's something I'm still trying to fine tune as far as how do I approach that. But I
Hmm.
have lots of lived experiences. I do business development and encouragement, motivation, empowerment every day. So the conference I'll be speaking at is a leadership conference for women professionals, and I'm really excited to kick that off, that conference for the weekend. But I've spoken about my daughter's passing. My daughter passed away, my son passed away, and really about how I used that grief to move on to live a different life the way that they would have wanted me to live, and how I ended up running a marathon in that process, and really the finding the strength to keep moving, because sometimes the hardest part is just getting started. Um, also around like toxic relationships that we hold on to, and I try not to share the pieces to be a downer, but more to help people understand that, we all are dealing with a lot of different things, and sometimes life is really hard, and that there is hope at the end when you decide that you want to keep moving forward. And also to know that it's okay to just want to stay under the blankets for a while if that's what needs to happen. But I'm really excited about this new stage in my life to be able to share with others. I've also done speaking with like younger audiences and stuff, a lot of leadership development. So I know that the stories that we all host or have can impact and inspire others. And really, it's more of a starting point to give to other people to say, like, oh my gosh, if she could do it, I could do it. Or even if you're going through a situation, to know that you're not by yourself, and to
Yeah.
know that, after the event, we could talk and I can share resources or whatnot. I mean, it just depends on what the subject is. I will always be appropriate. I'll tell you that. I won't cuss.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I've I have seen Gabriella speak. She actually was a moderator for a panel I was on at MDMC, and have, you know, after years of connecting with her and just messaging her, and sometimes we get on call, hey girl, what's up? How you doing? We just had a connection. That's how it all started. And let me tell you this, the energy that this woman brought as just a moderator, you can't fake. Like, she had more energy than two of the panelists, if I can be honest, on that panel. How she formed the questions, how you were completely just focused on us. It was extremely impressive and very forthright, that I'm like, this is a speaker. Yes, she's an MC and you can run a panel for sure, but you are absolutely a powerhouse speaker, because just the energy you brought to the stage just from moderating, I can't even imagine how you're going to be as a keynote, and how you are. I know you've been speaking for a long time. And if you guys want to see her speaking style, you can go to her LinkedIn profile, because I looked at her reviews and they don't lie. She's a powerful, powerful speaker. And as you just got a little snippet of her story, which is incredible, we can just imagine where it will go from there. So, Gabriella, I've had such a blast working with you. I'm going to try not to cry. I've had such a blast working with you. You are a dream client. I was so excited when you approached me, and the fact that you just needed this little bit of help to get you where you need to be and the impact that you want to make. I just want to thank you for entrusting me and being able to help you, because I have seen you from a long time ago and just wished I could work with you. And so it's been an honor. And I'm so unbelievably fucking proud of the work that you're doing, and cannot wait to see where it takes you. So, congratulations.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for taking me on as a client. I mean, as a business coach myself, there's always clients that we're like, I don't know if I want to work with them. So I appreciate you making the investment to take me on, and to really understanding my way of my psyche, and using your coaching and leadership skills to understand what was the accountability and the type of relationship that I needed as a coach, so that you knew how to push me and how to inspire me. Because also, having had other coaches, that doesn't always happen, right?
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that, and I'm excited about everything that's to come. I can't wait. I'm hoping you're going to be coming to St. Louis soon, but if not,
Oh
I
yeah.
can't wait for us to do a speaking engagement in the same conference.
Oh yeah. All of that's going to happen. All of it, without a doubt. Cool? Yes?
Awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Gabriela. All right. There you have it, guys. That is the real, the raw, no BS behind the scenes of the work Gabriela did to go after exactly what it is that she wants with everything she had, the mindset work, the is this going to work, the fear of success, all of it laid out for you. And hopefully you guys see what it really takes, because it's not just about the strategy, and it's not just about the posting, and it's not just about which social media platform, all of that. Yes, that's in it, but that's strategy. That's the easy part. Yes. All right. So if this episode called to you, if you're sitting there thinking, yes, that's me. Yes, I want to get paid to speak. Yes, I want to get paid to train or coach, or I want to get paid more. And you know that you were meant for more. You know that you were meant to make more money, a bigger impact, all of the things. But you also know that you're getting in your own damn way. And or you just may not know what to do. You don't know what you don't know, right? Now Gabriela knows. Yeah. So, if this episode hit a nerve and you are looking for support, then let's talk about it. I'm going to put a link in this live stream that's going to give you guys access to my calendar to book a business accelerator session. All right. Within our private time together, we're going to get into the root cause of what's really going on in your business and or what's not going on in your business, what you're really afraid of doing, right? We'll uncover what's keeping you stuck and broke, and together create a simple yet powerful step-by-step plan that'll help you keep going after what it is that you really want, right? Knowing exactly what that is. Yeah. And I will teach you all the tactics I just taught Gabriela and the rest of my clients that will absolutely move the business needle forward. This is why I do these case studies, guys, right? This is the real deal. Okay. And you can experience these results faster than you ever thought possible. It's like what my coach taught me. It's not time that's needed to get the business results that you want. It takes courage. Okay. So if you're ready to claim your Gabriela spot, I'm looking for my next case study. Yes. So the first step in what Gabriela took was she booked private time with me using the link. We had a private conversation, and she looked at what it was going to be like to work with me, made a decision, and we're off to the races. Cool. Yes. All right, Damari's in the house. Yes, girl. Thank you, lady, for watching. All right, guys. Well, I've had an absolute blast. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and Gabriela. If you have any questions about how to work with me, you guys know how to get in touch with me, about hiring Gabriela to speak on your stage, and you're going to want to do that. Reach out to her. She's tagged in this live stream. Yeah, cool. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging, and I'll see you online. Peace.